Namaskar. Good morning, Ram Ram. Today we are here with very important video on AC Astro channel. 90% or I can say 99% of people when go to astrologer, they ask the first question. Tell me about Dhan Yoga. How much money is there in my birth chart? This is common question, an important question. So today we are here for all 12 ascendants that what significators of wealth shows in your birth chart. In your birth chart, you have a Dhan Yoga or not? You can understand in very easy way with a great research done by Akashji. Let's welcome him from Calgary, Canada. Akashji, Namaskar, Ram Ram.
Namaskar, Rohitji Ram Ram. Uh, Today we are going to discuss about Dhan Yoga for all 12 signs, and this is a complete research by Maharshi Parashara. Parashara ji has done this research. I am just telling you what he has mentioned in Hora Shastra.
Hmm, hmm,
I was going through complete Hora Shastra and I came across this whole chapter of Dhan Yoga. It is very strange that we think that the second house is the house of money.
hmm,
But no, according to Lord Parashara, there are three houses that define money. Second house is the house of accumulated wealth. It
hmm,
is not the house of money and money coming in. It is the house which says that yes, you will have this much or this kind of money in your life. But
hmm.
to get money to come to your life, it is the most important house is the fifth house. That is why fifth house is also called the Lakshmi Sthan,
Lakshmi.
right? Fifth house is the most important house of money. Second comes the ninth house. The ninth house is that's why called the Bhagyasthan because the planet ruling the ninth house can change your destiny. It if it comes in contact with the fifth house planet, if they have interrelation between each other, then
Hmm,
it is going to be changing your destiny forever.
hmm,
And then comes the 11th house. Now, more than the lord of the 11th house is very important. What kind of planet is sitting in the 11th house? How is your 11th house placed? Is your 11th house afflicted? It shows the loss as well as the gain of money that you're going to be doing over your life.
hmm.
Ruchi, so for 12 ascendants, there is a complete I some things did I did not even understand that how Maharshi Parashar says that this planet is responsible for money. But
Hmm.
if we get to know that, it's very surprising and it's very fascinating. Other than that, I have also taken out few chapters where he discussed that how to activate the planets.
This is the most important. That's what I was asking you. That you will tell only Dhan Yoga or you will also tell how to activate. This is very important for everyone.
It is very important to activate the Dhan Yoga. So
Hmm,
maybe the planet is not sitting according to Maharshi Parashara, according to the table he has given,
hmm,
maybe the planet is not sitting in the Dhan Yoga for it. But
hmm.
during transit, it will 100% come in your life in that same house.
Yes, yes, yes.
And that is the time it will give you the most benefic results of, sometimes we struggle like for 50 years and suddenly we get success after 51 years of age because in transit that favorable planet might have come to the place of dhana, of wealth. Okay, so moving forward, let's move to Aries ascendant.
Before you start for the Aries ascendant, I will request you to little adjust your headroom, little bit.
Okay,
In the
yeah, sorry. Yes,
okay.
Ruji, for Aries ascendant, according to Maharshi Parashara, he says the ninth house lord is the Dhanakaraka. That
Hmm.
means in this whole chart, in Aries ascendant, only Jupiter has the power to give wealth. Now, it does not mean that only Jupiter will give wealth. It means that Jupiter, in combination with other planets, may give extreme wealth also.
Hmm, 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 hmm.
So, the fifth lord is Lord Sun.
Hmm,
Okay, and the
hmm.
ninth lord is Lord Venus. So, is Lord Jupiter, and the 11th lord is Saturn. the 11th house. Now,
Saturn.
the fifth and 11th house combination should be seen. That is the fifth house, that is Sun and Saturn. Are they aspecting each other? Are they in
Mhm.
conjunction? Are they in
Mhm.
any kind of affliction?
Mhm.
That is what will let you know that what kind of wealth lies in your chart.
Mhm.
Now, by chance, if in this chart the second house lord, that is Venus and Jupiter, you know, they sit together with Sun, or they are
Mhm.
actually aspecting each other, or Sun is, aspecting Venus or Jupiter, again Dhan Yoga appears for them. So for
Mhm.
Aries ascendant, Lord Parashara has combined four houses altogether: the second house, the fifth house, the ninth house, and the 11th house. But he says that I want Sun in the fifth house, I want Jupiter in the 11th house, or I want Sun or Jupiter to have the 5 and 11 house axis. That means either Sun comes in the 11th house and Jupiter comes in the fifth house.
Mhm.
Any axis between these two houses, then the Dhan Yoga activates. Now, we know that Jupiter transits, right?
Mhm.
Even Sun will be transiting, Jupiter will be transiting. So there is a favorable time, and that calculation is required after reading the whole chart. There is a favorable time when all the planets come into such conjunction that, or such a position, that we can activate the Dhan Yoga.
Mhm.
Suddenly, you can get large amount of money or sums uh, in your
Bank
chart,
account.
bank account. But the most important planet of for Aries ascendant is Jupiter. Jupiter is the wealth giver for Aries ascendant. To activate Jupiter and keep it activated throughout is by worshipping Lord Vishnu. See, the fifth house is the house of Sun, and Sun resides in the eye of Lord Vishnu. So that is why Vishnu and Lord Vishnu is very important. In fact, the money making, the money giving deity is sitting besides Lord Vishnu every time. So Lord Vishnu, uh, you know, giving your obeisances or giving your prayers to Lord Vishnu is very important. Very easy way method is Lord Vishnu Sahasranamam. Okay. After that, Surya Abhishek, that is watering Lord Surya, is very important. In the morning, get up, it just takes 2 minutes. Just give Surya the ark and say Om Surya Namah. And because Jupiter is associated with saffron, so putting saffron tilak, that means a saffron tilak on your forehead between your third eye, is going to give you more and more, you know more and more power, or more and more energy around you to gain wealth. And the fourth thing is to donate yellow items regularly. So again, to sum up, Jupiter is the one who's the Dhan Karaka. Now, Venus plays a very important role because it owns the second house, and second house is the house of accumulated wealth. Fifth house, the house of Dhana, that means the house of money, the house of Lakshmi Mata. And the ninth house, the ninth house is the house of your destiny. So in your Aries ascendant, your destiny is absolutely ruled by Jupiter,
But
right?
this is one surprising thing that
Yeah.
Jupiter is a dhan karka here. You say Jupiter will give dhan. That's okay. But Jupiter is also Lord of 12th house.
Yes, and Parashara told ki count Jupiter from the ninth house.
Okay.
9, 10, 11, 12, 4. That means Sukha. He is also giving you Sukha in this house.
Hmm.
So that loss will not be loss of wealth. That loss may be loss of health, not wealth.
Mm-hmm. Not
We
well.
have to be very careful. It can be loss of health. So, in fact, it also signifies that you will gain a lot of money from foreign lands,
Mm-hmm.
because ninth house is again long distance journey, and 12th house is also long distance journey. I am surprised, Rohitji, by Parasharaji, why he said that Venus is a Maraka here.
Marka hai, right?
Yes, but you know, Venus is a Maraka, but it says that from the ninth it is seventh.
Hmm.
That is why Venus is supposed to be benefic here.
And
And I
Venus
was
is
so
not even Marka. Venus is a double Marka,
double
second
marka.
house lord and seventh house lord also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now Parashara also writes in his book, Dui Marke na Marak. Like
Okay.
any planet who is double Marka
Okay.
becomes a benefic planet.
Wow. Mm.
But there is a lot of research to be done. So it says that Venus is actually a benefic planet for Aries ascendant. But during death, during the time when we have to die, Venus is activated. Otherwise, we cannot die.
Mm.
So Maraka means killer. And from second and seventh house, we can see the time of death of a person.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, when the life is lived, and when we can see, oh, this is the time when he started falling sick, during which hora, during which dasha, during which antardasha, during which pratyantar dasha, during which sukshma dasha, this person will die. Then that is the thing we can count from the second and the seventh house. Now why are these called markesh?
Mhm.
Because it is from the eighth house, it is the 12th house, and from the third house, it is the 12th house. The third house and eighth house are also Marakas, according
Mhm.
to Parashara. So
Mhm.
these both houses together are Marakas.
Mhm.
But when we see the third house, we see that if the family member is supposed to be dying or not. And when we see seventh house, we see the spouse is supposed to be dying or not. So it's a long, it's very big chapter on Parashara for deaths and longevity. But
Mhm.
that is not our topic today. Our topic
Mhm.
is mostly Dhana.
Dhani yoga.
So
Mhm.
for Aries ascendant, wearing a yellow sapphire is also very favorable because, but make sure that Jupiter is not in the 12th house. If Jupiter is sitting in the 12th house and if you wear a yellow sapphire, then you are supposed to be getting into a lot of mental stress,
Lottery.
spirituality, isolation. So make sure where Jupiter is sitting and then go about doing any kind of remedy.
Hmm.
These remedies which are written below are very sattvic remedies and can be done easily by anyone. Ruji, for Taurus ascendant people, here the ruler of the Lagna is Venus. Now, Venus is enemy of the fifth house, also, not enemy. Venus is okay. Mercury, very good friend with Mercury, but enemy of Jupiter. And
Hmm.
see, Jupiter and the fifth and the 11th house lord are Dhan Karakas here. That means Mercury and Jupiter. They
Hmm.
generate wealth. Now, if Mercury is exalted in this chart by mistake, Mercury comes and sits in the fifth house, then 100% during Dasha, Antardasha, and Pratyantar Dasha of Mercury, it will give you wealth or ideas to generate wealth.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, here, surprisingly, uh, Parashara has given very importance to the third house in many of the ascendants. Many ascendants, he has given the third house a lot of importance. Now, who is the owner of the third house? It is Moon. And
Hmm.
who is the owner of the seventh house? Again, Luigi, third and seventh house has been given importance here.
Mars.
Mars. Now, if they both by chance sitting in the 11th house, they make Mahalakshmi Yog here. And this person becomes a billionaire.
Oh.
Yes. And the 11th house lord, if he sits in the second house, in the house of Mercury, or in the 11th house, then also you are bound to become a millionaire in the Dasha, Antardasha, and Pratyantar Dasha of Jupiter.
Hmm.
Surprisingly, what happens, Rohitji? Many people get very different dashas. They do not get the right dasha in the right time
Right
in the right
time.
age.
Yes. It is important.
That is the problem when we see the chart and we say, my Jupiter is sitting in the second house. Why am I not
Hmm.
wealthy?
Hmm.
Has your dasha, antardasha, or pratyantar dasha come? No.
Hmm.
The main thing is dasha is the most powerful. Antardasha is 75%, pratyantar dasha is 50%, sukshma dasha is 25%. This is how the system is
Hmm.
created.
Hmm.
So here, overall, Mercury and Jupiter are only the wealth creators. Now, Rohitji, in this chart, Saturn rules the ninth house, but he has not been given any importance of giving wealth.
Hmm.
So Parashara,
Saturn here is a lot of very two important houses, Bhagyasthan and even profession house is there.
exactly. But he's not given any. He's Parashara ji has given no importance to Saturn. He
Hmm.
says very clearly, I've read each and everything 10 times before doing this. I have
Hmm.
also interchecked with KN Rao, his teachings, and he said yes, exactly the same thing.
Hmm.
So he says, Parasharaji says that there is nothing related in this chart to Saturn. Saturn is not going to be giving you wealth. The wealth is given only by Mercury and Jupiter.
Hmm.
Now, to activate this, if you have Mercury in the fifth house, okay, or if Mercury is coming in the transit in the fifth house, that is also an equal opportunity for you to get Dhana. And but sometimes, if there is any aspect or any conjunction in the 6,000, Mercury is not favorable. That is
Hmm.
the time you need to worship Lord Ganesh.
Okay.
You need to put Durba, that is again grass, in front of Lord Ganesha's idol and pray to him. And because here, Rohitji, Moon and Mars make the Mahalakshmi Yoga in the 11th house. So Moon and Mars have been given some kind of importance by Maharshi Parashara. That
Hmm.
means milk and red sandalwood. Like little bit of milk, water, and red sandalwood powder in it. Mix it and put it on Lord Shiva's on Monday. That is the best thing to do because it will activate the energy of Moon and Mars together.
Hmm.
Now, their moon travels every 2.5 days. So we have to see the Panchang. We have to see when moon enters Pisces, when Mars is in Pisces. That is the period of you to gain extreme wealth. So you have to plan in advance and then look forward to it. Zero Ji?
Very important. I think you can see internet is full of dhan yogas, but the most important is you are telling that how to activate this dhan yoga. This is very important. And Akashji doing lots of research on all these things. And till now, from January, I am seeing from January and from till June, lots of people take advantage of his knowledge. So if you are also searching for this thing that I want to show my birth chart, I want to analyze it. Is there any dhan yoga or any problem you seeing in the birth chart or opportunities also there in the birth chart? You get your birth chart analyzed by Akash ji. You will get video consultation. You have to just drop your details on this mail ID or the WhatsApp number given below, and he will contact you. And definitely, as far as I seen the working of Akashji, when you get video consultation from him about your birth chart, you will be, highly satisfied after that. And thank you for subscribing also. Now we are a 25K plus family, So I will request who are new, please subscribe this channel for more such meaningful videos and of course live which we usually do on the weekends. And now the time for the every ascendant. My ascendant is Capricorn. It's very last. I'm waiting for that also. But still now the Gemini people who are waiting for their turn. Now let's see Gemini people from where you will get money, and if you have that yoga, then how to activate this in your chart. This is very important. So now moving on to the Gemini ascendant, we will see.
Yes, Rohitji. So, according to Maharshi Parashara, this is all research. I've just put it down together. It is everything is done by Maharshi Parashara. Now,
Hmm.
Parashara ji says in his book Hura Shastra that fifth and 11th house lord are Dhanakaraka for Gemini ascendant people.
Hmm.
Now, that is Venus and Mars.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, Venus and Mars are well generators. Now, Venus, if it's sitting in his own house in the fifth house, not in the second house, because it also has a house of loss here.
Hmm.
Venus owns the house of losses also. But he says that if Venus is in the fifth house and Saturn and Mercury, now here Saturn is given important, not in the last ascendant.
Hmm.
Now, see, we have to understand that this is the Mool Trikon sign of Saturn, Capricorn, Aquarius, right?
Hmm.
Not Capricorn.
Hmm.
Capricorn is not Mool Trikon sign of Saturn. It is the sign where Saturn has to work a lot.
Hmm.
In this is the Mool Trikon sign of Saturn. So that is why Saturn has been now given importance by Maharshi Parashara. He says that Saturn and Mercury in the 11th house will give you extensive wealth.
Hmm.
So it says fifth lord in the own house, Mercury, Lagna lord, okay, as
Hmm.
plus Saturn 11th house lord.
Hmm.
Now we have to understand that here, Rohitji, the biggest question is if Saturn comes and sits in the 11th house, we will say, oh my God, Saturn has gone debilitated, it is
Hmm.
niche and this and that. But we should never forget that if Saturn even sits in this house, it will be sitting, if you count from the 11th house to the ninth house, it becomes the 11th house again.
Hmm.
So that means Saturn will be sitting, it will be like Saturn will be sitting 11th. Like from the Mool Trikon Rashi, it will be sitting, if we count, it will become the 11th house, again the house
Hmm.
of destiny, Bhagyasthan. So, yeah, I have written here, note Saturn is debilitated in the 11th, but owner of ninth house of luck. And it is his Mool Trikon Rashi. That's why Saturn here plays a very important role in Dhana. So Rohitji, fifth house, that is Venus, ninth house, Saturn, and 11th house, Mars. And the Lagnesh, that is Mercury, plays critical role in this chart to give money. But the biggest role is played by Saturn, not even the fifth house lord. Okay, Rohitji. So now the thing is that in next 5 years, Rohitji, Saturn will come into this place.
Hmm.
Okay. Now in 2.5 years it will go into the Pisces. Then in
Hmm.
2.5 years it will go into Aries. And when Mercury will also come here in transit with Saturn, many times it will come at least two or three times. Yes, two times. That is the time that wealth will be generated for you. For all the Gemini ascendant people, big wealth will be generated during the period when Saturn and Mercury, even in transit, come and sit in this house.
If I am not wrong, what I am understanding today, Akashji is telling that like we are discussing Gemini ascendant right now. In Gemini ascendant, definitely Gemini is the king here. He is ascendant, and king has make finance minister as a Saturn. You want to say that Saturn is a finance minister here in this chart?
Exactly.
Okay.
And when finance minister visits the homeland, or maybe the land which is more affected by floods, that is the debilitated house, it will
Hmm.
say, oh my God, this is debilitated, this is floods, we need to give money to this person. That is
Oh.
how money will come. So
Hmm.
in the bad place, Saturn will give money here. So planets are very unexpected, and it
Unexpected.
is an eye opener for me also, because after I read Hora Shastra and then I referred to K.N. Rao book, I understood that yes, um, and I was doing some research with some kundlis also, even my kundli. Roji, my for Leo ascendant, we will talk in that how who's the wealth giving planet.
Hmm.
In fact, here it also means that you should choose any kind of profession that is related to Venus, Mars, Saturn, or Mercury, depending on which is the strongest place in your chart.
That means you want to say that it is not necessary only fifth house lord will get the finance ministry portfolio, because here is a Venus and eighth house lord is a Saturn and he got the finance ministry portfolio. That is very interesting.
Yes, but here Venus, see, in Parashara, in Hora Shastra,
Hmm.
uh, Parashara has given importance to only for two ascendants, that is Aries
Hmm.
and Cancer. It has told that only the ninth house lord is very important for money.
Hmm.
Otherwise, the combination of 5 and 11 is for every other ascendant.
Hmm.
So, fifth house lord is very, very important. It shows that how and in what amount your karmic debt has been paid forward in this age.
Hmm.
What kind of karmic debt that you will you get wealth or no?
Hmm. Hmm.
This is what it means. Now, for all the Gemini ascendant people, worshipping Mahalakshmi is very important. And other than that, Kodi,
Hmm.
these they are seashells, little bit seashells. If you write Kodi seashells, you will get to see how it looks. We have to keep 7 seashells in the southwest direction of the house. One more interesting fact which I read. So when you put the seashell in your ear like this, you will hear the sound of the ocean.
Hmm.
Yes, try any kind of shank, conch, seashell. You keep it on your the closed one. You keep it on your ear. You will
Mhm.
hear the ocean sounds. Very interesting, divine. Now here there is another remedy, but which has to be done only if it is very legally available. That is ivory. So ivory
Mhm.
has been considered very sacred in Hindu or in Vedic astrology. And
Mhm.
earlier, ivory was not taken by killing elephants. It was given by elephants. Like, when elephants age, when elephants they pass away naturally, their tusk is then removed and then ivory is made. So such kind of ivory is available with certification saying that unharmed certificate. That means the animal was not harmed.
Mhm.
Available in a pious way, like it is now a waste because the animal has passed away. So
Mhm.
that
Very.
IVD is also available. So make sure you make the right choice and do not get into any sinful act. And
Mhm.
very important because Mercury, you have to save a bird nest and never ever destroy any bird's nest ever ever. Generally also, and after hearing this video, never ever. Any
Okay.
ascendant, if you're hearing, don't destroy bird's nest because it will destroy your house and household happiness, and you will be sent away like in a jail also, or maybe very away because birds can curse very aggressively. That is what happened with Lord Bhishma Pitama. He was
Mhm.
cursed by a bird, and because of that, he died a painful death. You remember,
Mhm.
you know Rohitji about it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
There is a story.
Yeah, so bird is Sakshat Rupa of Mercury and Rahu. So it should not be, never ever be harmed. That is why the bird is called a messenger. That is why
Yes.
pigeons are messenger, because Mercury is a messenger of God. Okay, so this is for Gemini ascendant, Rohitji. Now moving for Cancer ascendant. So now the ninth house lord is the Dhanakaraka here. That means again Jupiter. So for Aries and for Cancer, Jupiter is the Dhanakaraka because Jupiter is considered according to Parashara Hora Shastra.
Mhm.
Jupiter is considered to be one of the most pious and spiritually active planet in the world.
Mhm.
It is a benefic planet. Whatever state it will be sitting in, it will try to repair it. But there are combinations. We have to understand. If Jupiter is in conjunction with a malefic planet, if Jupiter is aspected or Jupiter aspects a malefic planet, there are many combinations where we have to see the birth chart to understand how your Jupiter is placed.
Mhm.
But overall, here, Jupiter plus Venus and Jupiter, okay, plus Mars. They are the Dhanakarkas. But the number one position of money, wealth generating planet in your chart is Jupiter and Jupiter itself. Okay. Now remember, only and only you will get lots of dhan, like lots of money, only when Jupiter is in ninth house or either associated with 11th lord or the fifth lord. So maybe, if Jupiter is sitting in the ascendant, for example, Jupiter and moon are sitting in the ascendant. Okay. But if Jupiter is sitting in the 10th house, so Jupiter and Mars are sitting in the 10th house. That means from your career, you will get so much wealth that you can't even imagine. Why? Because Jupiter is God's associated with the fifth house Lord, where in the 10th house, in the house of Mars again. So, career. Now, if that same Jupiter is associated with the 11th house Lord, for example, it sits in the 11th house with Venus. So, Jupiter and Venus combine in the 11th house. That means you will generate wealth through friends, through networking, through social media, through digital marketing, through
Mhm.
elder brothers and sisters. So, this is how the planet is supposed to be giving the result. But remember, Jupiter is the wealth karaka. Now, right now, Jupiter is sitting in your. It already was in the state where it would generate wealth for you. The last transit was supposed to be the wealth generating transit.
Mhm.
Here it also says that I'm telling you again and again. It depends on the aspect. Like for example, what if Rahu is sitting with Jupiter in the ninth house and you did say I did not generate wealth. So see the power of Rahu in your chart, that what degree Rahu is sitting, what nakshatra Rahu is sitting, and what power Jupiter has. So you have to see everything. But overall, here again, we have to activate Lord Hanumanji and Mahalakshmi. That is, pray to Lord Hanumanji, Mars, Akshad Mangal, and Mahalakshmi because of Venus 11th house association. Okay, Chandra Upasana. That means fasting on full moon and putting water and milk on Lord Shiva on full moon's day because it is the Lagna Lord. If the Lagna is strong, the ascendant Lord is strong, then automatically he tries to protect you from all the evil planets in your chart.
Hmm.
Okay. Now Jupiter being the Karaka, Dhana Karaka, it says that putting a Kesar Tilak on your forehead is also going to be very beneficial. It will attract the energy of Jupiter. It will attract wisdom, and with wisdom comes wealth. Again, donation of yellow items, that can be anything, sweets or any pulses or any fruits. It will bring a lot of good luck and success to you. Rohiji, are you clear? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. If Jupiter here is a wealth giver and he goes to the eighth house anyhow, then will he get illegal money? You want to say?
No. If it goes in the eighth house, he will get money from inheritance and lottery.
Okay.
So not illegal money. Such
But
people.
here Bhagya will get weak fortune because it's a 12th from Bhagya.
No. Again, it depends on the association and the dispositor of the eighth house. Where is Saturn sitting? What position is
Hmm.
Saturn in? Is Saturn in a good position? Is Saturn in a bad position? Or if Saturn is sitting in the eighth house, it depends
Hmm.
on that. And Jupiter association with Saturn in the nakshatra. Which nakshatra? Is it in any kind of Satvisha nakshatra, Dhanishta nakshatra? What nakshatra it is sitting in?
Chakra is important, right?
Very important nakshatra. So
Hmm.
this is just a generic saying that I have just gone through or researched completely on Parasharaji, that how
Hmm.
Parasharaji thinks about money. Lal Kitab thinks completely differently.
Different, totally different. Very
Gemini
different.
thinks differently. You
Hmm.
know, every big astrologer big thinks differently. Every Maharishi thinks different. This is Parasharaji because his Vidya is the most
Base for
base
everything.
used by everyone. Okay, so this is Lord Parashara's Vidya.
It can be said that either you run a passenger train, mail train, express train, or a bullet train, but you need track for running that train. So the Prashraji studies that track. You can run any train on that. Thank you, Akashji, for guiding us so beautifully, and thank you for all of you for subscribing us, for giving us so much love. I thank you from core of my heart and all team. And I request you, those who are new to this channel, please subscribe and be a family member, be a part of our AC Astro channel, and please write there, subscribe, so we can thank you personally to our new family member and welcome you. And those who want a personal consultation from Akashji, those who are looking for, that I want an astrologer who just make me my chart very clear, like transparent, like water. You can just drop your details on the mail ID or on the WhatsApp number given below. You will get benefit of knowledge of Akashji, video consultation with him, and you will cherish that moments definitely. As far as I concerned, I experienced this thing. Okay, today we are talking about the Dhan yogas for all ascendants, not even yogas, but how to activate that. This is more important. You have a SIM, you have a phone, but that is not activated. Everything zero for you. Even 150,000 Apple phone is zero for you. But that SIM is activated, you will get the network and you can talk anywhere. So today Akashji telling that how this sim of Dhan Yoga should be activated in your phone, in your birth chart is your phone. So how it should be activated. Now the time for his own chart, his own ascendant, Leo ascendant. So let's see with his example also because he will tell about his chart also. Let's see, very interesting.
Rohit. So Rohitji, according to Maharishi Parashara, he says that fifth and 11th house lords are the Dhanakaraka for Leo ascendant. Okay, so that means Jupiter and Mercury.
Hmm.
Now, Jupiter and Mercury. We have to note that fifth house lord in his own house. Now, here two houses are owned by Jupiter.
Hmm.
That is the eighth house and the fifth house. So
Hmm.
it depends where Jupiter is sitting. If Jupiter sits in the fifth house, the money mostly comes from mother
Hmm.
and from business or startups. Okay.
Okay.
And if it's sitting in the eighth house, the money comes more in secret ways or maybe through healing or like a doctor, healer, anyone who does any kind of occult practices. The money comes from there. Now, Rohitji, if the 11th lord in his own house, so 11th lord is again if it sits in the own house and by chance it is conjuncted with moon. So if you have moon and Mercury in the 11th house,
Hmm.
then again it is a yoga of multi-millionaire. You will have, and so fascinating, Rohitji. Just see the 12th house lord, and 12th house is the house of loss. It is coming and sitting 12th from itself,
Hmm.
and with her enemy, Mercury,
Hmm.
in the house of Mercury. But see the the what you say mystery of God that he made this on Parasharaji made this with lot of research he must have done. He made it like the yoga of millionaires and multimillionaires.
Hmm.
Now, if Jupiter even gets exalted here, the fifth house lord gets exalted in this chart, goes in the 12th house. You will earn unending source of income or have unending source of income from a foreign country.
Hmm.
That means such people can do very good import export business, right? And Rohitji here, if any benefic planet like Venus or any benefic planet like Ketu, Ketu is still a malefic planet, but I feel that it is a benefic planet. Venus, Mercury, or Ketu, it sits with Jupiter. Again, Dhan Yoga becomes more potent, more expectations for Dhan.
Hmm.
Rohit, another indication what Parasharaji gives is that with all these things is the career related to Leo ascendant. It shows that career should either for Leo ascendants be in communication or be in
Hmm.
any field related to Jupiter, that is finance, uh, that is media, that is film and TV, creative work. So here it gives here he gives an indication also that what and how the career should be chosen. See the placement of Mercury and see the placement of Jupiter in your chart and choose the career related to Mercury and Jupiter. They are the one who are supposed to give you wealth here, and mostly Jupiter is the one to give you wealth. Now, Rohitji, I am not so wealthy, but my fifth house Jupiter is my fifth house Jupiter is sitting in the eighth house,
Hmm.
right? So it will give me money through some kind of like any kind of healing Vedic practices.
Hmm.
But,
Hmm.
but my Mercury is sitting in the house, seventh house of partnerships for me.
Hmm.
So I have started making money or getting money or come to a life right track only after marriage.
Yes.
Right. So it completely depends on how and where the planets are placed. Before marriage, I did not even have anything to spend on myself. Now, by God's grace, everything is good, but it is depending on the nature of the planet, that how the planet and where the planet is sitting right now. It will give you uh, results accordingly.
So you want to say that in your chart there are two finance ministers, Mercury and Jupiter?
Yes.
Oh,
Every Leo ascendant has two finance ministers,
two finance
Mercury
ministers.
and Jupiter.
Very interesting.
Yeah. And Mars, even being Yoga Karka, uh, Mars being Yoga Karka for Leo ascendant, Parasharaji has not mentioned at all about Mars.
That's what I am surprising because in in Venus ascendant in that Taurus ascendant also Saturn is a Yoga Karaka, Kendra and Trikon Lord, but there also not Prashraji mentioned there about Saturn,
So
and here also
Parasharaji,
not about Mars.
so Parasharaji must have thought something before writing it, right?
Right.
question him. But this is what Parasharaji says. This is not, I am not saying anything. Everything is research, man. This is what Parasharaji says. Now, here it says that listen or chant Vishnu Sahasranamam. Very important thing for all the Leo ascendant in the world. Vishnuji is the savior, man. It is it is Jupiter. It is the fifth house, the Lakshmi Mata Sthan, where Jupiter rules. So you have to make sure Vishnu Sahasranam is a part of your life. Now, another thing which I learned, Rohit, there should be a library at your home. The more books in the library, the more wealth will come in your house.
Hmm.
I am getting one book every day, Rohit nowadays.
Oh.
There should be a library in your house. Every Leo ascendant people, whether their Jupiter is sitting whatever place, you need to have a library or maybe have a bookshelf in your house where you keep books so that your wealth increases. It does not mean you just buy the book and keep, you read also. Because here it says that unless and until you gain knowledge, Jupiter will not give you wealth.
So being a Jupiter as a significator in wealth in this chart, and you say because Jupiter is books also, you get books and read books. So you will also advise this thing: don't give your book to anybody because Jupiter is wealth.
Yes, I think you're right, Rohit. We should not share books here, but we
Mhm.
should donate empty books to some financial institute or to some educational institution.
Hmm.
Because once those book have written things into it, it comes adds to your destiny because that book has been given by you.
Hmm. Okay. Oh yes. Yes. If like you are in India and you donate some Durga Sapshati Hanuman Chalisa to some temple, that is very good. People will daily read there, and it will add on to your chart.
To your
Okay, that is good.
so book. Thirdly, Kesar Tilak, very important. Wherever Jupiter comes, saffron Tilak comes, and using turmeric in all food items because Leo ascendant people are the people who tend to gain a lot of weight, and that is because of Jupiter being the fifth house lord, also the eighth house lord. 99% chart which I have seen, Leo ascendant people get diabetes, get
Hmm.
sugar because of Jupiter. Jupiter is the karak of fat and sugar. Anything sweet, Jupiter. Okay. And here another thing, that is donation of grains. Anything like gehu, gehu, the wheat, un, uncrushed wheat should be donated. And those who can afford can donate a cattle, that is like a goat or a cow, to any farmer who's very poor.
One more
Okay?
question here,
Yes.
Akalji. As you tell about one donation that uncrushed wheat can be donated. One question in my mind, because this uncrushed wheat is related to Sun, and Sun is your ascendant lord.
Ascendant Lord, that is why.
Can we donate ascendant lord's thing?
Yes, we have to donate Ascendant Lords because here, may- Ascendant Lord and the fifth house Lord is Vishnu and Vishnu himself.
Mhm.
So there is no difference between Ascendant Lord. That is why the Parasharaji mentions that donating whole wheat rather
Mhm.
than donating crushed wheat.
Mhm.
Okay, whole wheat should be donated. So for Leo Ascendant people, make sure that two planets are the most important. That is Jupiter and Mercury. So whenever you go back and start reading your chart and making notes, whenever Jupiter and Mercury Antardasha or Dasha will come, you must have gained wealth somehow or the other. Which moving on to Virgo ascendant. Here, Rohitji, this ascendant is ruled by Mercury. Okay. Now, here Parasharaji says the fifth house lord and the 11th house lord are the Dhanakaraka. That becomes Saturn and Moon. And if Saturn is sitting in the own house in the fifth house and Moon is sitting in the own house in the 11th house, this becomes perfect Dhan Yog for this ascendant native to earn throughout his life without any efforts. Even if he has an exalted Saturn in the second house, that means wealth will never stop.
Mhm.
Exalted Moon, Wealth will never stop.
Hmm.
Now see, Rohitji, very surprisingly, the house where the moon is supposed to be exalted is the ninth house of the destiny. And where Saturn is supposed to be exalted is the second house of the money. So see, it also says that if it is exalted, it will be very good because the Lord of the money is getting exalted.
Hmm.
But if it is debilitated by any chance, okay, then poverty. Then it is you are going to go. If Saturn here goes into the eighth house, that means you are going to go to extreme poverty. Yeah, Rohitji. And if
Well,
Moon goes in the second house,
hmm.
extreme poverty.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Moon goes into the third house.
Third house, I
Extreme
think. Yes,
poverty. Yeah.
definitely.
Sorry. Yeah. So extreme poverty. So that is why we have to see the position of the planets. In fact, whenever in transit, Moon will come into the into the third house, and Saturn will come into the eighth house. It is the time when you will have major losses. So you have to plan your things ahead of these transits.
Hmm.
And Rohiji here, Saturn, being the lord of the sixth house, Parasharaji mentions these people gain a lot of money from disputes.
Oh, they can be good lawyers.
Good lawyers, disputes. Then they can gain a lot of money through litigations. Again, same thing, law and order. And
Hmm.
from loans. Like such people take big loans, like they take 10 crores and they make 100 crores out of it.
Oh.
So such people can make big money through
Hmm.
their through this planet. So make sure whenever you are choosing a profession, make sure where your Saturn and where your moon is placed. On that
Hmm.
basis, if you choose the profession perfectly, rightly, then uh, you know automatically the wealth will follow. Sometimes, Rohit, it happens that we are in a profession and after a while we realize that, oh, this was not the right profession, this is not the
Hmm.
right profession. So here such people need to reconsider if needed that are we in the right profession? Should we be in this profession or no? So Rohit here, uh, now very importantly now Saturn and Moon axis we are talking about, and both are related to Lord Shiva. So being a prime devotee of Lord Shiva is number one remedy to become rich. What Vishnuji and what Brahmaji cannot give. So it is said that what Brahmaji has written and what Vishnuji is supposed to give you, Lord Shiva can give you 10, 100 and 10,000 times more than their written stuff. That is the power of Lord Shiva. So become a prime devotee of Lord Shiva. Donation of white items will activate moon, that is sugar, rice, curd, any kind of white item, white clothes will activate moon and you will gain a lot. Fasting on Saturdays and full moon days, especially if full moon day is on a Saturday, then fasting is very important. That will again generate wealth for you, and that sacrifice will not go waste. It will turn out into something. And Rohitji, donation of black items. Now here we have to understand iron related items and coins to the needy craftsmen will increase wealth. So for example, handyman or anyone who's coming to your home for a repair, if you just buy a new hammer and when he comes, you say, you know what, this hammer is with me. I just wanted to give it to you. It's of no use to me. Such we have to find the way out to give them some, you do the remedy. And the hammer should be black, not shining.
Hmm.
Okay, not shiny iron. It should be black in color. So you will find two types of hammers. One completely black, very
Hmm.
shabby looking, and one very nice steel looking, very nice. No, no, we don't want to give the steel one. We want to give the black one, black iron. In fact, giving iron utensils to your house help or maid or any kind of person is also very auspicious here. Ruji, moving to Libra. You have any questions, Rohitji, for Virgo?
For Virgo, I have not any questions, but And this is question related to Virgo, but maybe as you told about Saturn here in very good manner. But Saturn is here also sixth lord, and
That's
as
why,
you know,
Rohitji, the
as
money, that's why the money will come from litigation, loans,
my question is
enemies.
that because sixth house is also of maternal uncle's house, like Mama Ji and all that.
Right.
So they can gain from that also from
Yes.
their maternal.
Gain from maternal uncles, gain from health related professions, doctors.
Oh,
Such people are doctors because sixth house is the house of diseases. So gains from diseases.
oh, my niece is also same chart and she's doing MBBS.
Right.
That's what in my mind this chart.
Yeah. So that means she will earn good money because of Saturn. And if she goes into surgery here, because Mars is the eighth house lord,
Yes, she will go in surgery. Yes.
right? So now she will earn more money, she will earn more wealth because she has chosen the path of Saturn.
And the big thing is that her Mars is debilitated. You see, she will go into surgery, I think.
Yes.
Hmm. Okay.
Fascinating. So the Mars is sitting in the house of Mars is debilitated. So that means it will be sitting in the house 11th house.
11th
So
house.
now there is a connection of Mars putting exalted aspect on the
6th
fifth
house.
and the sixth house. Fifth house exalted aspect, sixth house the eighth aspect.
Oh, again surgery. She is committed
Surgery.
to go in surgery. She says, I will be heart surgeon.
Exactly. So this is how Rohiji planet gives results. That
Definitely.
dhan will where will dhan come from? From the fifth house, right? Moving on to Libra. Rohiji now here, Parasharaji in Hora Shastra tells us that fifth and 11th house lords are Dhanakaraka. Now here, very important, a very difficult, uh, to interpret it because Saturn and Sun are sitting on that axis.
Hmm.
Saturn in Mool Trikon and Sun in own house in Mool Trikon. So, fifth house lord in his own house, 11th lord house in his own house. Number one rule, if they are both sitting in each other houses, this person is a wealthy person.
Hmm.
Exalted Saturn or exalted Sun. Again, Saturn in the Lagna, that is in the first house, exalted position, or Sun in the seventh house, exalted position.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, here again, it says that the money, if Saturn or Sun becomes debilitated by any chance,
Hmm.
the money will come from, there will be poverty. Again, this person, if the Sun is debilitated, the person will become poor after marriage.
Okay.
Okay, because Sun will be
Hmm.
debilitated in the first house.
Yes, first house.
Okay, but aspecting the seventh house, owner of the 11th house. So it has a connection, it has a triangle between 1, 7, and 11. So he will become, uh, what you say, uh, he will lose his wealth after marriage. This other person, if Saturn becomes exalted, Saturn becomes debilitated in the seventh house, he will from birth be, what you say, poor or in poverty.
Yes, one of my friend has the same chart. Is the
You know why,
chartered
Rohitji?
accountant.
Now I'm telling you, it is because opposite. It is because of the what you say axis.
Hmm.
Saturn. If Saturn becomes debilitated, then it will ruin the what you say.
Married life.
No, 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 not married life. It will ruin where it is aspecting
That is seventh,
Lagna.
first house also, ascendant also,
Yes, ascendant.
ninth house also.
Yeah, you're saying your friend has this chart.
Yeah, my friend has this chart, and I will not name him, but very good CA. He, as you said, his Lagan Lord, his 11th Lord, Sun is debiliated in Lagana, and
So
is
his
going.
married life will be completely disturbed,
Yes, very disturbed. The second marriage,
right?
and he
So now
lost
see,
lots of money after that also.
Sun is debilitated, but puts a exalted aspect on the seventh house, right?
Hmm.
Right? It is debilitated,
Hmm.
but that exalted aspect will destroy. the seventh house.
Not even his marriage. You are right, Akashji. Otherwise, some astrologer will see. He say, "Oh, exalted drishti on the seventh house. You are the." He lost all partnerships in last 5 years. He done around 10 partnerships. All 10 partnerships disaster and loss. And first wife also died due to some reason. And now the second is not also in the
So we have you have to have right knowledge to see the chart, because
way.
your one advice can ruin someone's life,
Someone's life, definitely, definitely.
right? So here, that is why it was little confusing for me also, that if Saturn becomes exalted, it will destroy, it will make you poverty from childhood. If Sun becomes debilitated, sorry,
Hmm.
Saturn becomes debilitated, if Sun becomes debilitated, it will make sure that you are losing everything in marriage, partnerships, everything in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So Saturn and Moon are again, okay. I by mistake I written Moon, but Saturn and Sun are the Dhanakarakas here. Okay, Rohitji.
Okay.
Now we have to activate it again, Rohitji. Becoming who is Sun and who is Saturn? So Saturn completely surrenders before Lord Shiva. Becoming a devotee of Lord Shiva is very important here.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, donation of orange fruit, especially on Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
Here also donation of uncrushed wheat in a temple is
Okay.
very important.
Okay.
Serving father and fatherly figures, because Saturn and Sun are in
Axis.
axis. That is why serving father and fatherly figures is very important.
Right.
And donation of shining steel, iron. Okay, let's see, the ascendant lord is Venus, and Mool Trikon sign of Saturn is Aquarius.
Hmm.
That's why shining, sterling, shining steel or iron related items and coins need to be given to craftsmen, that will increase wealth for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It is very confusing for people who do not know anything. They must be going bonkers. Or what are they talking about? But Rohiji, it is, I understood it completely. Like any chart I open now, I see that where is the dhan, which they asked me that when is the period when I will get the most of the money. Now I can guaranteedly say that this is the period you get most of the money in your chart.
Yes, this is important, right? You said that if some person has a very good Venus, everything okay, but that Dasha is coming in 96 years of age, what he will do and what
Nothing.
the Sun will do. So it's important. The astrologer's job is to predict the right time. That this is the time when you need to do the effect. This is the time. You just open the door and that door is not unlocked. The right time is when it is unlocked. You just push, or you can just it can be opened. So you will tell that right time.
And transit play a very important role, because either they are not sitting in the birth chart for you, but in transit they will come.
They will come. Yeah.
So we do not have to miss the opportunity.
Mhm.
Now for Scorpio ascendant people, Rohitji, now the ruler is the Mars, and here the fifth and the 11th house lords are Dhanakarkas. For only Aries and Kark, Maharshi Parashara says that the Karkas are the ninth house lord, that is Jupiter. But for everyone else, he has clearly mentioned the fifth and the 11th house lord are Dhanakarkas. So here it becomes Jupiter and Mercury. Now, Rohiji, in the last we saw that how, see, Rohiji, Sun and Saturn becomes, Yoga Kark, Dhan Karkas. Here, both enemies again. Jupiter
Hmm.
and Mercury are enemies. They again become, you know, Dhan Karkas for them.
Hmm.
The first rule is fifth house lord in the own house, or 11th lord house in the own house with moon. Moon plays an important part because it is the bhagya, the destiny, destiny sign owner for this house. Here, exalted Jupiter and exalted Mercury. If the fifth and the 11th house lord in the ninth, if comes in the ninth, like if Jupiter comes in the ninth or if Mercury comes in the ninth, let moon be anywhere in the Mahadasha and uh, Antardasha of Mars, Jupiter, and Mercury. Remember, Mars, Lagna Lord, Jupiter, fifth house Lord, and Mercury, 11th house Lord. It is going to be raining money on you.
Hmm.
This is what Maharshi Parashara says. Rohitji, exalted Jupiter, money, exalted Mercury, money. Mercury and Jupiter sitting in benefic houses, aspected by benefic planets, not aspected by Rahu and Ketu, will give good wealth. But
Hmm.
aspected by malefics will make the wealth go away also. Okay, here to activate your chart or activate the planets in your chart like Mercury and Jupiter. First is Vishnu Sahasranam. You have to recite Vishnu Sahasranam or listen to Vishnu Sahasranam at least once a week. Not more, but once a week.
Hmm.
Because fifth house, the ruler is Lord Jupiter. Now, here Mars, very important. Mars is soil. So you need to buy soil from a nursery and put that soil in some big tree root on a Thursday evening. So you
Hmm.
buy any kind of mud, mud or soil,
Hmm.
fertile soil. Take it and put it in a very big tree near the roots of that tree, so that the tree can get a lot of nutrition from the new
Hmm.
soil there. That is how you will get a lot of nutrition from new things or new opportunities coming to your life.
Hmm.
Now here Jupiter and Mercury. So remember, Mercury is the owner of the 11th house, and that 11th house is the Mool Trikons and the exalted place of Mercury. So
Hmm.
here the third gender people who are, we call eunuchs, or the people
Hmm.
who do not belong to male or female genital.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Thus
Hmm.
those people should be served.
Okay.
That is how you will get the benefit or the blessings of Mercury, and you will get wealth,
Hmm.
generate wealth. Now, since moon is also involved here, the ninth house lord, so fasting on full moon days. And another thing, also on bright sunny days, you need to make sure that sweat comes out, that it is hot. You need to sweat out because eighth house, the Lagna, the Scorpio Lagna is supposed to be the burnt sign of Mars. So unless and until you have sweat on your body, you will not be able to gain, what you say, uh, gain courage in your life to move forward.
Hmm.
So I never thought, Rohitji, that going and running or walking in the sun and getting sweat will be a remedy. But it is
Really?
a remedy. It is a remedy. Like fasting on a full moon days is a remedy. Same way, even running or walking in bright sun is also a remedy.
Yeah, these days when astrologers give you the remedies of your 2 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees, people get satisfied. Oh, I get the remedies. That is not important. Akashji always give you remedies which are, you have to just run and sweat is coming. That is remedy. It's a magical remedy.
Rohitji, many people when I do consultation, they say, "What is the remedy?" I said, "You do this." They're like, "No, this is very simple remedy." So what they want remedy like, we need 43 pandits sitting and doing puja for you. And today in the morning, I did a consultation that girl spent $11,000 on puja
Oh,
because her lover went away.
oh my God.
I said, he's not coming back. Your money also ran away now. So,
So
anyways, Rohitji here.
I think choosing a right doctor, right teacher, and right astrologer in life is very important. They can make you a king, or they can make you a like what example you are giving.
No, it is not that, Luigi. The right time is very important in your life.
But that
Because
is only told by the astrologer. How can we know about it?
if the right time is not even there, you will not even come to a right astrologer.
This is also maybe right time for the people who are watching video.
Anyways, doesn't matter. I think they should. I'm making this video so that they could learn and see themselves, so that they do not need to take consultation. Yeah, Rohitji. So this is for Scorpio ascendant people, Rohitji.
Hmm. Scorpio ascendant people, and thank you for those who are subscribe the channel and become the family member. We are happy to have you on board as a family member. Thank you very much. And those who are new to the channel, please be a family member of AC Astro channel. Please subscribe us for more such meaningful videos. There was a very good comment by some I forgot the name of that girl. She is learning astrology. She urged that please, if you make such videos, uh, definitely we are making these videos now for you people, so you can learn astrology from AC Astro, and we also go live on weekends and even sometime on weekdays, and then you can be a part of that live and you can ask one question from Akashji and he will guide you further. And those who want a personal consultation, you are going through some birth chart matching for marriage, or astrocartography reading that is about your career, or any reading from your birth chart you want, you can just drop your details on the mail ID or on the WhatsApp number given below. Team will contact you and you will get a video consultation with Akashji. Now, the next ascendant is a Sagittarius ascendant. Lord is Jupiter, who become finance minister in so many birth chart. So who he will make his finance minister is very important to see. Let's see who Jupiter make the finance minister in his Sagittarius chart. So wealth will come.
Guruji, Parashara does not mention any clear Dhan yoga for this ascendant.
No finance minister here.
It is very mixed.
Okay.
So Parashara ji in the beginning says that not it says there is no nothing. Jupiter is the one. Jupiter gives everything
Hmm.
in this chart. I
Mm-hmm.
think Parashara ji is very much fascinated by Jupiter, I guess.
Yes, because he's Devaguru,
Yeah.
and
His
Prasharaj is
guru
also
himself
very big Rishi. So,
is Parashara's guru is also Jupiter, Brahaspati. So he's
oh.
very fascinated. He said in his chart, who will else give? Brahaspati only gives. But later, with lot of combinations, in another Dhan Yoga, in Raj Yoga section, he has mentioned that if Jupiter is in the ascendant
Mm-hmm.
with either Mercury or Venus or Mercury aspecting Jupiter, then or Venus or Mercury exalted in this chart, both the
Mm.
enemies, then
Mm.
it will give money.
If Jupiter and Venus both exalted in this chart, they will give money.
If
Is
uh,
exalted,
Jupiter exalted will give money for sure,
and
but it
Venus
will give
also exalted.
money through a lot of inheritance, but that is not required. We are
Mm.
saying Venus and Mercury if they get exalted in this chart. So if Mercury comes and get exalted in the 10th house, and if Venus gets
Fourth one.
exalted in the 4th house,
Fourth one.
then it
Mm.
will give excessive amount of money. Mercury will give money through career, like career money, lot of big paying high paying job. And if what you say Venus becomes exalted, it will give money through real estate.
Okay. But Akashji, what is your advice if I see one word chart few days back? Venus is exalted in fourth house. That is fine. But Mercury is also tabulated here in same house. So it's a Neecha Bhanga Raj Yoga.
Yeah, then it becomes very even, and you do not get anything
Okay.
because it has become very neutral there. Neither
Oh,
Venus will give full result, neither Mercury will give full result.
okay, okay, okay.
But still, Venus will make sure that they have a house, they have a good car, they have all the luxuries of the fourth house.
Hmm.
Do they have that?
Yes, they he have house. Yes, he has house and trying for car, I think, but going through Saturn Mahadasha. That's why little bit struggling.
Yeah. Saturn will make him excessive hard work. Because in this chart, Saturn is supposed to be doing the hard work.
Yes, very hardworking. He's very hardworking. Very hard.
So this Lagna is very tricky. Here, Jupiter is the one who's going to give you wealth.
Hmm.
Parasharaji only mentioned Jupiter is the one, no one, we don't require anyone else. But
Oh,
he also mentions later that if in becoming very rich, Yog, Venus and Mercury should be either aspecting Jupiter. So, for example, if Venus and Mercury both comes and sit in the seventh house, and they look at Jupiter if it sits in the ascendant, such people are multimillionaires,
oh,
and they are multimillionaires by birth.
okay.
So what if Venus and Mercury comes and sit? For example, your Venus, you said your friends Venus and Mercury are sitting in the fourth house, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Jupiter comes in the dasha and antardasha, or in transit in the sixth house, in the 10th house for him,
Hmm.
that is the time he will gain wealth that is unimaginable.
His Jupiter is in fourth house. Oh, sorry, eighth house. Exalted. His Jupiter is in eighth house.
Yeah. He will generate wealth, overall generate wealth, but the dasha of Jupiter needs to come.
Oh.
Parashara says, unless and until the dasha of Jupiter comes, Jupiter will not be activated, right? The energy of another planet is activated.
Mhm.
If that same Jupiter was in Lagna, he could have been rich from birth.
Yes.
Yeah.
On sun.
But here there is no there are many remedies to get it activated. Here, Kuberji plays a very important role in this chart.
Hmm.
So the Kuber mantra which I have written below, it is Om Shrim Reem Kleem Shrim Kleem Vitteshwaraya Namaha.
Hmm. There is one small mantra also for this Om Viteshwaraya.
Om Vitteshwaraya Namaha, yes. But this is the main mantra. If you do this, if you hear this, if you listen to this, it is wonderful. It is going to give you money. It is going to give you dhana.
Hmm. Right, right.
Now here, Venus, we have seen Venus very much associated here. Serving little girls with sweets and education related items is very important.
Okay.
And donation of idols made with clay in a local temple is also important,
Okay.
because fifth house is owned by Mars.
Mm-hmm.
So donate idols made with clay, or anything made with uh, clay. That is what clay. It is called clay only.
Mm-hmm.
So for Sagittarius ascendant, sorry guys, but Parasharaji himself is not writing. What can I do?
But I think you have certain so many books of K.N. Rao ji, K.P. Gemini,
K.N. Raoji
Preeti.
again says the same thing. Here I can show you right now. You
Hmm.
will not believe this.
Okay.
Sagittarius,
Hmm.
no mention of Dhana Yoga.
Oh, very confusing. That's why you written very tricky. Very
No
tricky.
mention of Dhana Yoga in Sagittarius. Parasharaji is not mentioned at all.
Hmm.
I researched everything. Then I came to this conclusion that maybe it's very disappointing if I say there is no Dhana Yoga.
Hmm.
I saw that what are the Raj Yogs for Sagittarius ascendant, and these are the Raj Yogs. And these Raj Yogs provide Dhan also. Moving on to Rohiji Capricorn ascendant. So fifth and 11th house lords are the Dhan Karaka here. That is Venus and that is Mars.
Hmm.
Now, to some extent, the ninth house lord is also a Dhan Yoga Karaka. Now, Venus and Mars are Dhana Karakas, Venus in own house, and Saturn and Mercury in 11th house. Now,
Oh,
the Lagnesh is involved here now.
okay.
The Lagnesh has been involved now. That
Hmm.
Saturn and Mercury in the 11th house and Venus in the own house. Any of these both combination can make person rich. Okay. Mercury is a natural benefic as it rules the ninth house of destiny.
Destiny. Yes.
Okay. So Mercury in this ascendant is natural benefic. It will not do any harm. That means even if you wear the stone of Mercury, it will not even harm your health.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it will not even, because it is a sixth house lord, but still it is a natural benefit for this chart. It will
Hmm.
not harm your health as well.
Hmm.
Okay. The fifth and the ninth house, that is 1 and 7 axis, relation with Saturn, the Lagna lord. So for example, the fifth house lord is
Venus.
Venus, and the ninth house lord is Mercury.
Mercury.
Venus and Mercury comes and sits either in Lagna or the seventh house, or the seventh house or the Lagna.
Hmm.
Okay. Or have any relation with Saturn.
Hmm.
Then again there is Dhan in the Dasha and Antardasha.
Okay. Okay.
Any questions, Rohiji? Because this is your.
This is my chart. You tell that 11th house, 5th house, and ninth house lords are very important. And it's good that my all three lords are sitting together in the Kendra in the 4th house. And Lagan Lord, Saturn is sitting in the ninth house in the Jupiter's sign.
Yeah. So Lagan Lord is sitting in the ninth house.
Ninth house in Jupiter's sign, in Mercury's sign. Sorry.
So Lagna Lord is sitting in the ninth house. Mercury said, no. They should have been in the 11th house, not ninth house. That is why you're not having so much wealth.
Right.
This means slow wealth will come.
Slowly.
Have you ever encountered that during the Mercury Antardasha or during the Dasha of Mars, you get wealth?
Yes, yes, I am getting this from you from my Mercury Antardasha. I'm going through Mercury Antardasha.
So Mercury is the natural benefic, and that is the wealth karaka for you. Venus is also going to give you wealth.
Okay.
Whenever Venus will come in Antardasha Dasha, depending on the placement of Venus for you, it will also give you money.
Hmm.
So here, again, number one rule is that pray to Mahalakshmi with the word Shreem, 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 Shreem. Mahalakshmi is the number one remedy. Plant trees, lots of them. And what is you're planting? You're planting Mercury. And when you
Right.
plant Mercury, what happens? Saturn gets active. Saturn signifies slow growth, and the plant does the same. That's why I told you, you will get money, Rohitji, but slowly.
Slowly. Slowly. Right.
Slow money will come. You will not get money like,
Overnight.
yeah, you will get dheere dheere, like slowly, slowly, you will accumulate wealth. Same way, like a tree grows. As the tree is growing, make sure if you plant trees, Rohitji, if you every Capricorn ascendant, if you plant trees, as soon as the tree is growing, your money and your wealth is growing. Same happens for Leo ascendant people. That is number five. This is number 10. Understand? For Leo ascendant people, the number of books uh, they accumulate, the wealth increases. For you guys, the number of trees you plant, the tree grows, your wealth grows.
Because second house lord is also Saturn, and accumulation of wealth is also governed by Saturn.
Pattern.
Then Saturn is slow planet.
Slow wealth, but for sure. That's why plant trees.
Okay.
Again, Rohitji, because of the 11th house related to Mars, donating idols made of clay in local temple and praying to Ma Dharti. That is putting
Hmm.
little bit of water on soil and
Hmm.
praying to it that, hey Ma Dharti, thank you for everything.
Okay.
Such people can also work related to minerals or collect minerals as well. That is, any kind of mineral that comes out of earth will be
Hmm.
very benefic for them, and they can even work in that direction.
Hmm.
Like any mining work, any such kind of work will be very favorable for them to accumulate wealth.
Hmm.
Okay, Rohitji. But overall, Rohitji, Capricorn ascendant people are very lucky because Venus, Saturn, whose most dreadful planet, is supposed to be giving you money.
Yes.
Enjoy, party. Moving on to Aquarius ascendant people.
Yes.
So, according to Maharshi Parashara, the fifth and 11th house are the Dhan houses here. Rohitji, this ascendant is again very tricky. It is not because of fifth and 11th house being the dhan houses. Suddenly, without any reason, Moon has been taken out, who's the sixth house lord, has nothing to do with anything, has been taken up by Parasharaji and said that Mercury in his own house and Mars and Moon in the 11th house. Because whenever Mars and Moon they make a combination, Mars is also been taken out. There is no relation of Mars here. It is supposed to be Mercury and supposed to be Jupiter.
Okay.
Now, Jupiter is not mentioned anywhere. He says, Parasharaji says that the role of the 11th house is important, not the 11th lord here in this chart.
Hmm.
Here, 5th and the ninth lord do not combine. If they combine, it's disaster. If they do not combine, and here moon joins it. Like if moon join either the 5th lord or the ninth lord.
Hmm.
And Mars and moon in the 11th house, or Mars and Moon together in Dhanu Rashi makes you multimillionaire. I am very confused, and I'm going crazy that why Parasharaji would suddenly come out of this thing and say that Mars and Moon we will do this, and then they, because Moon Mars is always debilitated when it is sitting in the house of Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the story, right? When Mars and Moon had a fight, and then because of Lord Shiva, and then Moon was got debilitated.
Mm-hmm.
So here, Ruiji, very crazy, but yes. So Moon and Mars are in the 11th house. Then it becomes, it becomes very favorable. What I calculated is that from the ninth house, from the 11th house, if we calculate one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, eighth is the Moon, right? And from the 11th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth is Mars. So fifth is again understood that yes, from the fifth, 11th, from the fifth, that planet is supposed to be favorable. But I'm not understanding why Moon. This is my, I'm not understanding that why Moon.
Oh, yes, very interesting. Yeah.
Right, Rohitji? But
Mm.
Parasharathi says that Moon is the, if Moon comes in the 11th house, it is going to be money, money.
Mm.
If we count from 6th house, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From 6th, it is 6th, the level. It is
Maybe
that
good from arbitration as lawyers, disputes. This is the
point,
only
Rohitji.
way.
This is the point of, that's why I'm saying that I can just say that what Parasharaji is saying, but I do not have any logic for it.
Mm. Money
So
from
here,
controversies only here it shows.
maybe, Rohitji, this is the house of diseases, right?
Mm.
And the 6th, from the 6th is the house of small diseases,
Okay.
11th house. This is the house of litigation and hidden enemies. Enemies.
Mm.
This is the house of small enemies, day-to-day enemies.
Mm.
So why Moon was given this position by Parasharaji? It is a mystery. But he says it, so that means that is the rule on the book that Moon here is playing a role, and Moon is gonna give you wealth.
Mm.
Now activation. Rohiji, Lord Ganesha, praying to Lord Ganesha, Arpan Durba to Lord Ganesha, number one remedy. Pray and do Shiva Abhishek on full moon days for sure. Again, moon is in the sixth house, and moon is the owner of the sixth house here. And we have to be careful, and that's why we need to make sure generally also we take care of moon here.
Mm.
So we have to do Abhishek of Shiva on full moon day.
Mm.
Sorry. Rohiji, here we do not have to fear from challenges because this is the house of Saturn,
Mm.
Lagna of Saturn, and the third house is ruled by Mars. So we have to be very brave in all the aspects in our life.
Mm.
Now, again, because Moon is associated here, make sure we do not go against the law and always respect law. Because I feel that some people in this ascendant can make money through illegal means also.
Mm.
Because if Moon is the Yoga Karka or the Dhan Karka, then that means sixth house. Sixth house is also the house of making money through gambling,
Mm.
through litigations, through false litigations, through false insurance claims. And that kind of money is an enemy for you.
Mm.
So make sure you do not do any such kind of stuff. But yes, this is the simple way of activating your dhana. Also keep a vigilant eye on moon and see and check. And I need a lot of answers from all the Aquarius ascendant people because I have some chart saved Roji of Aquarius, but I'm not
Mm.
understanding moon. Why moon? I
Why
need
not?
answer. I will be searching it. But yes, for now, Parashara ji says that moon is very important, prominent in this ascendant.
Mm.
Guruji, Pisces ascendant. Here, moon is still understood,
Yes.
but not there.
Mm. Not there.
I think Parashara ji, he must have not done any mistake. Not at all.
Mm.
Here, Guruji, for Pisces ascendant people, for according to Maharshi Parashara, fifth and 11th house are the Dhan houses, or they are
Mm.
the house from where we can see Dhan. Now, here in the beginning of the video, I explained that we only do not have to look at fifth and 11th house, but also the Lagna, the second house, the ninth house, because
Mm.
these are all wealth generating house. Fifth house Lord plays a very, very important role because it is everywhere. Everywhere fifth house Lord is important.
Mm.
lord, moon is in the own house either, or Venus goes in the 11th house. Now here, Rohiji, it's completely a different thing. Hence, neither the ninth house lord nor the 11th house lord has a role. Here, like the sixth house lord earlier, eighth house lord has a role, and the third house lord has a role.
Mm.
Very confusing. That why Parashara ji chose Venus. If it comes in the 11th house, it is Dhana wealth yoga for them. Jabki, if you see, Venus is supposed to be enemy of this. He has been given two very difficult houses. The second house, that is the house of extreme hard work, and the eighth house, the house of sudden ups and downs.
Mm.
But I feel because Venus was given these two Maraka or so bad houses, that is why the Venus has special privilege here that if it comes into the 11th house, it is going to bestow wealth on them.
Mm.
That means Venus will have no boundaries to give them wealth.
No. Right.
So Venus, the third and the eighth house, has a major role for in Pisces for money. So all the Pisces ascendant people, make sure you do not run after Saturn and Moon. If Moon is in the fifth house, good. In own house, very good. That is supposed to be giving you wealth throughout your life. But
Mm.
see where Venus is, what kind of thing Venus is going through, and when is Venus transiting your 11th house. That is the time you will see that significant amount of money or significant amount of gains in your life.
Mm.
I just feel both. I get the logic here, Rohit, some kind of that for Pisces ascendant and for Aquarius ascendant. What Maharshi Parashara he has said that these planets were given the most difficult house. That's why they have a special privilege of becoming the Dhankaraka for them.
Mhm.
I feel this is the only reason. Otherwise, I don't think that there is another logic which explains that why Venus, being the owner of these two houses, is given a special privilege in the 11th house, and that too is the in the house of Capricorn, in the house of Saturn, to give unexpected wealth and wealth and wealth.
Mm.
And Rohit, there were many illustrations done according to this, all the things, which we will do someday later. We'll do just chart studies of Dhana Yoga.
Okay.
Pisces ascendant people, again, praying to Mahalakshmi, that is stream, because your Venus is playing a very important role. Stream, important. Secondly, moon. So, fasting on full moon and also putting a silver chain around your neck. And for female, anklet around your ankles. Make sure you wear anklet for sure. Your money is never going to be stopping.
Mhm.
Now, because the third house is also the house of extended family and neighbors and siblings, and the eighth house is the house of inheritance, and both are ruled by Venus. Do not cheat your family members for property. Otherwise, the money which will come for sure, but will go away in by taking toll of your health, or maybe some loved one life of your, because
Mm.
Venus is the one who can give life and take life.
Yes.
Okay, so do not play around with Venus, and provide gifts to younger siblings, that is sisters only, because we need to activate the Venus energy in this chart so that we get gains from Venus.
Okay.
So Rohit, this is the small presentation on Dhan Yoga for all 12 ascendants, and
Small
activation.
presentation, but a very meaningful presentation.
Right, Rohit.
Meaningful presentation because how to activate Dhan Yoga is very important. Dhan Yoga is there, but if you will not activate, what is the benefit of that? So, with this video in generic way, we try to make you people aware about your Dhan Yoga, how you can activate, and those who are student of astrology, they will also get lots of benefit because when you go to read Prashraji yourself, you will need lots of books and time. But in this video, concretely, you will get everything what you want about Dhan Yoga. And thank you for those who subscribe the channel, those who become the family member, and those who are subscribing or new to the channel. Please write subscribed in the comment box so we can also thank you from core of our heart. And those who want a personal consultation from Akashi, one-on-one consultation, video consultation, you have so many questions in your mind. You can just drop your details on the mail ID or on the WhatsApp number given below. You will get a consultation and you will get the benefit of knowledge of Akashji. Thank you very much once again to all the family members of ACS2 channel. Thank you, Akashji.
Thank you,
Your
Rohitji.
throat is not good. You are a struggle to speak today, but even you make this video.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you once again. And we'll meet you in some another video or live. Till then, Shri
you.
Ram, Jai Hanuman, Jai Mata Di, Om Namah Shivaya.